Now Pi wants chips. Let me guess why. Let's see what we got here. Well, we've got Peter subbed for 45 months. Holy wow. Thank you so much. We've got Mai today with first. Hell yeah. Who else we got here? We got Joe. We got Pi. How dare you be so cool, Pi? How dare you be so cool? Listen, you can be trash and still be cool. I'm just putting that out there. If I can be trash and still be cool, you can be trash and still be cool. Oh yeah, I can turn on my clock so you can see what time it is for me. Good time zone, everybody. Blur's here. Blur, haven't seen you in a bit. I assume you've been settling into the new place. I hope that's going well. Sardonisms is here. Fun story, in the Western internet, salt is spite. Yes, if you're salty or spiteful, in China, vinegar is jealousy. So I always find it funny that spite and jealousy make a popular chip flavor. That's what they should call it. Salt and vinegar is out, spite and jealousy is in. That makes my favorite chip, aside from dill pickle lays, take on a whole new meaning. Heck yeah. Also, dill pickle chips are pretty good. My favorite chip flavor would have to be either fromage, roast ribs, or green onion. Ooh. My favorite chip flavor used to be sour cream and onion, but I can't have that anymore. So now I just eat the plain chips and I dip them in a dairy-free dip, which is really good. It's like garlic and chive. Your favorite chip flavor is mayo. First of all, I'm not going to ask if there are mayo chips because I believe that they are. But is that true, Joe, or are you bullshitting? I don't think I've ever heard of mayo chips. I've heard of ketchup and actually had something like them. Ketchup chips, very big here in Canada. Peter, how's it going? Pimo Pan, hello, welcome in. Can't buy chips because it's a national holiday. It is a national holiday here as well. Do all your stores actually close on holidays? Ours tend to be open just at reduced hours. Keladon, hello! How's it going? Your clock is off by 9 hours. Time zones. I'm so spiteful and vengeful that lasers suing me. Peter, you deserve your own chip flavor. What would your... If you had a personal chip flavor that was named after you, what would your personal chip flavor be? Been bumpy, but it's going? Well, I hope that the bumps are smoothing out, Blur. It's always, it's always crazy when you move into your first place, honestly. And because you've not been through the process before, you're sort of learning the process of getting everything set up and figuring out how things work for you and what to do if something goes wrong. So it's a process, but hopefully every move after this one is easier. I won't say definitely, because I've had some rough moves in my life, but the first one is always really tough. I think I had them when I was visiting friends in Calgary. Yeah, ketchup chips are just the norm here. Ketchup chips and all dressed. It's Independence Day. Oh, it's Remembrance Day here. But I bet I could still go to the store. I'm not gonna, but I bet I could. Still debating calling out the rest of the day. My daily headache is being very persistent today. Sardonisms, you don't have to share the details, obviously. Don't say anything too personal, but did you get the results of your MRI, and do they have some answers for you? I hope the answer to both of those things is yes. Obviously, don't say anything that you're uncomfortable saying, but I know that you're in the process of doing some medical stuff, and I hope that it's good news for you. Got through some writer's block a few days ago and finally made progress. Hell yeah! It always feels good to bust down that wall and get going again. Spiteful and vengeful. It'd be so vinegar that it'd cause that awful tongue burn. I'm torn between, like, a chip flavor that's just, like, sad chips because you can't eat any of the good chip flavors anymore. But there are actually some really good chips that aren't, that don't have dairy in them. I've learned to appreciate sweet Thai chips, and a friend brought over some Dijon mustard chips the other day for D&D, and they were really good. So I can get behind Dijon mustard chips. Mayo chips, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go there. You can buy ketchup corn chips here. It's normal, but potato chips not really. Interesting. I don't think I've had ketchup corn chips. Enjoy your lurk pie. Thank you for hanging out. Also, we do have at least one hydrate. We're going to do that now. Gonna DM you, but the headache is unrelated. No worries, Sardinisms. I appreciate you trusting me to know what's going on. I learned of All Dressed from Trailer Park Boys, and our best friend Victoria gave me some All Dressed. All Dressed chips are really good. I think the concept of All Dressed chips kind of sounds gross when you first hear about them, but when you eat them, they're actually really good. They're like tangy. They're not super sweet, but they're like tangy. They're almost like barbecue chips in the States, but slightly different. Like less smoky, if that makes sense. But very, very kind of similar. I could buy a package of ketchup chips for $10.94 and get them on November 28th. Maybe not necessarily worth it, my. I do lactose. Like I said, my favorite chip flavor was always sour cream and onion, and now I just can't have them. Also, I have to be really careful about salt and vinegar chips, speaking of. Because some brands of chips, I'm looking at you, Lay's, put lactose in their salt and vinegar chips to sweeten them. So I can't have those either. But there are other brands of salt and vinegar chips that I can have. But I'm annoyed at Lay's for that reason. Slowly getting back into my routine. It's been slow, but I'm getting there. I'm glad to hear that, Blur. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you got some time for some art today. There's so much taste that they block out all the taste. I like them, but they confuse me. The all dressed, yeah, I think for our American friends who are very, very used to barbecue chips, the all dressed chips are very similar, so they won't be. But I don't know. Listen, the chip flavors, or crisp flavors, as it were, in England are very, very different. Cheese and onion was something we had never had until we went out there. And prawn chips have never encountered anywhere else. So it's very, it's very different. The Lay's ones do. They have lactose in them because lactose is what makes milk sweet. It's the sugar. And I guess they use it to sweeten things. It was a betrayal. Ghost Pepper was there. He can tell you I was very betrayed by the chip aisle. Americans do love barbecue flavor. That was always... It's interesting, too, because I never really liked barbecue chips. I grew up in a place where barbecue chips were very, very popular. And I don't mind barbecue chips. I'll eat barbecue chips, but they're not my favorite flavor. So it's really interesting, like... Americans do love their barbecue chips. Could buy a tube of Pringles ketchup potato chips for $15 and get them tomorrow with $25 in qualifying purchases, but I'm not a huge Pringles fan. No, Pringles used to be good, but not anymore. Not anymore. Gonna be doing some video editing today. Hell yeah, Blur. Cheese and onion is one of those not for public things, like when you bring salmon to microwave at work or something. If you go on a bus, then cheese and onion are one of those unwritten laws you don't eat in public. I didn't partake of the cheese and onion chips very much when we were over there because it was not really my jam. But Ghost Pepper loved the cheese and onion chips. Pringles are angry potatoes. Pringles, when they first came out, were really, really good. Hold on a sec, I got a frog in my throat. Pringles, when they first came out, were really, really good, but they changed their recipe. They changed how they make them, and they have not been as good since. And it has been a good, like, if you guys are like, I didn't hear anything about Pringles changing, it was like 15 years ago, or like 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. And they have just not been as good since. In the before times, yeah. Yeah, when I was in high school, Pringles were the shit. And if you were going on a road trip, you would buy Pringles. You would buy at least one tube of Pringles to eat in the car. They were the greatest. Like, that whole, once you pop, you just can't stop, that used to be true with the original Pringles. And they changed them. First of all, they're not as crunchy as they originally were. And now they just don't taste good. They have a really, like, how to even describe this? Pringles have this, like, oily, tangy, like, artificial aftertaste now that they did not have when they originally came out. And I think it has something to do with the way they prepare them. Like, yeah, exactly, Mai. Like, they used to have this really crunchy, like, super crunchy texture to them. And now they just kind of turn into, like, potato paste when you chew them. And I don't know why they never changed it back. I don't know why they changed it in the first place. But I think it was something to do with the oil they use and the way they prepare them. And they made the change a long, long time ago, and they never changed it back, and they're just not good anymore. Like... Did you ever have those wee containers that were Pringles shaped for lunchboxes? Like the mini tubes? The ones that were like this big? We had those. For sure. Yeah, Pringles were, like, when I was a teenager, Pringles were always slightly more expensive than, like, a regular bag of potato chips. Yeah, Joe, I've been yammer yamming for at least, I don't know, 15 minutes? Joe... Are mayo chips real, or were you bullshitting? Yeah, but when I was a teenager, man, Pringles were slightly more expensive, but I would go out of my way for a tube of Pringles, and not now. If somebody offers them to me, if somebody has bought Pringles and offers me, I'll eat a couple of them, but they are not... Not anymore, man. They're not what they used to be. I've never had mayo chips. I don't even think I've seen mayo chips, actually. I'm Googling this now. But of course, Lay's has popped up, so... I was assuming this was a Lay's flavor. Mayo is not that... I do know that in the States, like, flavored mayos is also a big thing. It's not really... Mayo's not really that big here. And flavored mayos aren't really... You won't find Baconaise. If you get 2 mayo chips, you can use them as a sandwich for your eggs. Alright, I'm gonna ask a very controversial question. And Ghost Pepper isn't here, I don't think. But I can tell you what his opinion is. I'm gonna ask a very controversial question. Chips on your sandwich, yes or no? Which of you out there puts chips on your sandwich? I can't put cheese on them, Joe. I can't put cheese on anything. When I say on, I mean you open the bread, you put chips in there, you smush down the bread, and you eat it. That's what I mean by on. I am a chips on your sandwich girl. Not peanut butter and jelly. Sardonism said on PB&J. Not for me. Not on a sweet sandwich. But on a savory sandwich, I will put chips on my sandwich. Ghost pepper's a hard no. Ghost pepper's a hard no chips on sandwich. It distresses him every time I do it. Kids are asleep. Hello. Chips can't be good on a sandwich. Cuban hamburgers have those little crunchy fries by default. Yeah, exactly. It's almost like having crunchy onions. Also, kids are asleep. I didn't get a chance to thank you because it happened near the end of a stream last week. But thank you for helping out with that script question that came up last week, because you obviously knew a lot more about scripts and terminology and stuff than I did, and I appreciated you. I appreciated you offering that info up. Salty crunchy in my gooey sweet sandwich. Now, I can see that, because salted caramel is a thing and it's good. I've not done it. I've never tried chips on peanut butter and jelly. But if I got like a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich and I've got some plain chips or some salt and vinegar chips or something, yes. I don't do it very much anymore because they try to make healthy eating choices, and chips in your sandwich is not a healthy eating choice, but it is good. It is delicious. I will stand by it. So is that a British snack then, Peter? Is that a thing that they do in Britain a lot? Get a well-fried roll, get a packet of roast chicken chips, and then you eat it, and then you are in Flavor Town. I don't know if we have roast chicken chips here. I don't do it, but I have done it and I've enjoyed it. Ghost Pepper puts peanut butter on his hot dogs, which I'm a hard no on. Yeah, salt and vinegar chips on a sandwich. Also, salt and vinegar on your fries. It's how it's done. Speaking of sandwiches, I'm gonna have tomato soup and grilled cheese, or maybe tuna fish sandwich for lunch. That sounds delicious. You know, if you don't lactose like me, you can make a tuna sandwich. You put some cheese on that. You can just gently melt it in the oven and have a tuna melt. It's like the best of tuna fish and grilled cheese together. With a soup. Oh, that would be so good with the soup. Peanut butter and a hot dog, yeah. I've not tried it, but Ghost swears by it. We're probably going to raid into Ghost Pepper today, so if you guys want to ask about the peanut butter and hot dogs. And I'm not lying, I've seen him do it. It's absolutely a thing we do here. I'm assuming you mean the chips on sandwich. It started to be used in marketing commercials. Dang. If a genie appears and says you can have your toes back for 1 week only, what things are you eating in your 1 week of toes? Sour cream and onion chips, mac and cheese. A lot of macaroni and cheese. Just every type of macaroni and cheese. Lobster, drenched in butter. Lobster roll, same thing. Because that's basically a lobster drenched in butter. Pizza. A lot of pizza. I basically will be very fat by the end of that week. Those would be my big things. Sour cream and onion chips, pizza, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is 100% my comfort food. And seafood, just drenched in butter. Those would be my, 4 go-tos. You can't eat sour cream and onion chips? No, there's sour cream on them, Joe. Sour cream is dairy. I don't know if you know this, but they make cream out of milk, and they don't take the lactose out of it. Peanut butter and hot dogs are fire. Now, does that mean are you saying that it's good, or are you saying that it's bad? If something is fire, is that good, or is that bad? I don't speak the language of the youth. I need you to tell me. I need to know, I need to be informed if that means, if you say peanut butter on hot dogs is fire, does that mean it's good? Yeah, it's fire. Or does that mean it's bad? No, set that on fire. The children say fire is good. Oh, so Joe is pro peanut butter and hot dogs. Fire is good. Okay. I don't know what has toes. I have toes. Anything dairy, so milk. So anything made from milk. So milk, obviously. Cheese, butter, cream, any powder derived from milk, cream, or butter, or cheese. Um, a lot of things have dairy in them. It's been many years since I started screenwriting stuff, but I think those bits haven't changed. I appreciate it. I don't know a lot about screenwriting. I can infer based on, like, knowing about storytelling and watching TV, but I don't actually know a lot about actual script writing. So I appreciate that other people are able to give information about that when it comes up. So when you're lactose intolerant, you're unable to digest a certain thing in milk, which is lactose. Lactose is what makes milk sweet. It's like the sugar. It's not sugar, but it's like the sugar in milk. It's what makes it taste sweet. So anything that is derived from milk, uh, is gonna contain its base parts. So, like, whey and lactose are the two most well-known ones. Now, certain types of things, like, some people who are lactose intolerant are okay with certain types of cheeses because as the cheese is made, part of the process of the cheese being made is that sugar content is consumed, so there's less lactose in certain types of cheeses. Now I'm very sensitive. I basically, even lactose free cheese, which is not 100% lactose free, can trigger me. But anything that's derived from milk, or even up here, there's something called modified milk ingredients, which is basically a powder that is derived from milk bits. And I can't have anything that has that in it either. It has lactose in it. The Latin name is Lactus tosius. I don't know that that's true, but I like that idea. 50 millimeter deck screws are lactose free. I don't think I should eat those, Peter. We need to group together and get Megan some steel capped boots to protect her precious toes. Listen, I have pills that temporarily restore my toes. So I can very selectively consume. I'm lucky because I don't actually, it's not the same as a food allergy. Like, people who are allergic to something can't eat it, hard stop. So have I taken milk out of my day-to-day? Yes. I use oat milk instead of regular milk. We don't even keep regular milk in the house. If I go to a coffee shop, I order an oat milk coffee. Like, we use a vegan margarine, because there's even buttermilk powder in regular margarine, which blows my mind. When you're lactose intolerant, you find where all the milk is, believe me. So out of my day-to-day, have I cut dairy? Yes. But if I want a chocolate bar, if I want to eat mac and cheese, if I want to make myself a pizza, if I want to experience milk, I can do that. I can take a pill, and I can suffer mildly the next day, or majorly if I really want to, and I can have that indulgence, because it's not an allergy. It doesn't, like, shut my body down. It's just an unpleasant time. It's abdominal cramping, and it's an unpleasant time in the bathroom, and it's unpleasant. But if I really, really, really want dairy, I can consume it. I just have to be a little bit careful about it and aware of the consequences. It's not like someone who goes into anaphylactic shock. Like, I don't go into anaphylactic shock when I eat it. That's not a danger for me. Keeping it just the right time. Welcome in. I'm gonna ask you to tell me how to say your name, because I don't think I can say it properly. So please tell me how to say it, but welcome in. Glad to have you. So yeah. And the reason why people are lactose intolerant is actually quite common, is that I don't have the ability to digest lactose. You can say it like tohu, like tofu, but with an H. Welcome in, Tohu. That's what I was originally gonna say, but I didn't know if that was just me wanting it to be pronounced that way or not. So people become lactose intolerant because they don't have the ability to break down lactose. There's a certain, I believe it's an enzyme or bacteria in your body, I'm not sure exactly which allows you to break down lactose. I have read different things. I've read that some people just run out of it. So like, you can be born not lactose intolerant. I did not have trouble consuming dairy when I was younger, but you can essentially run out of it and then you become lactose intolerant later in life, which is kind of what happened to me. So basically, I just don't have the ability to break down lactose. So I can eat dairy, but my body doesn't know what to do with it. So my body is like, why have you given me this? I don't know what to do with it. And it just kind of pushes everything out. Carly, welcome in. Subscribed for 18 months. Carly, how's it going? The milk is in my belly, don't worry. My husband is vegan and the number of things with secret dairy. I know, I never realized the two things, because my mother-in-law is allergic to fish and seafood. So she can't have anything, and seaweed too. Anything that comes from the sea, she basically can't have it. And you never know how often it's used until you can't use anything containing it. And we used margarine for like 2 years after I realized I was lactose intolerant, before I realized there was buttermilk powder in it. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I have to buy vegan margarine, which to me, I'm like, why? I thought the whole point was that margarine was supposed to be vegan. Joe protected me by eating the milk. I appreciate that. Joe has extra toes. That's right. You don't have to talk about your toes if you don't want to. Just woke up. I hope it was a good sleep, Carly. Do you have off today? Is today a day off for Carly as well? What's your chip flavor, Carly? What's your favorite chip flavor? From a genetic perspective, we as a species were always supposed to be lactose intolerant and turn off after we are no longer infants. Yeah, because you're not supposed to drink milk as an adult. But as it because it's a good protein source in Europe, we developed the recessive gene to not have it turn off. Yes. I am one of those unlucky people. I lost my toes. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. But I do know that it is at least partially genetic, because my grandmother was lactose intolerant as well. And it was the same for her. She was fine when she was younger, and she became lactose intolerant later in life. What does chip flavor have to do with milk? Well, the chip flavor is from an earlier conversation, but I can no longer eat my favorite chips, which are sour cream and onion, because I'm lactose intolerant. That's how they relate to each other. I should start talking about what we're doing today, and also, Tohu, let us know if you're a writer and if you're working on a project for November, blah, 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 November Writing Challenge. I can't talk today. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrates. Let's start with 3. A 1. A 2. A 3. 3 licks to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. What type of Doritos, Carly? Which flavor? We are doing things today, yes. Opening monologue is wild today. Oh, okay, just the regular, like, default Doritos. Proto-Matt, how's it going? More of a reader than a writer. Worked as a technical writer a long time ago. Oh, interesting! I tried to do technical writing in my, college. I went to school for IT and networking, and I tried to get a job as a technical writer for my, like, co-op, but it didn't pan out. But I always thought it would be interesting. Joe has been talking about mayo-flavored chips the whole time. And part of me is like, hard no, but also we eat ketchup chips here, so can I really say that? Had so much fun in D&D last night for your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Proto-Met, and I hope I know it was a big battle, I hope the battle went well. Hated ketchup chips. How do you feel about barbecue chips, Carly? I'm curious. Today, we are doing work today. Today is the day when I have to go back through book 2 of Ghost Path. So I started writing Ghost Path, I think at the end of August, beginning of September. And this is the trilogy, the big trilogy that I'm writing for this year. So the goal is by the end of this year to be done with this trilogy. And I have finished the second book. I finished it yesterday. I actually started the third book yesterday, just the first scene. Jess, hello! Ooh, Sun Chips is really good. I really love Sun Chips, too. Haven't been able to eat them as much, because I used to like the Harvest Cheese ones. So again, haven't been able to eat them as much since I started lacking toes. But I do love Sun Chips. Ocelot is slipping in here with us as well. Ocelot, hello. Barbecue are fine, but some brands focus on the wrong seasonings. Fair. I was talking earlier about how all-dressed chips are kind of like barbecue chips, but slightly different tang. Oh, Tohu's from the UK. Heck yeah. Is Ghost Path the biography of Ghost's life? No, it's just a fictional story. From a time before Ghost Pepper had the name Ghost Pepper. About how he started as a wee seed. No, Ghost does not appear in Ghost Path, unfortunately. The Harvest Cheese one is my favorite, but the Honey Barbecue are going to be a close second. Heck yeah. My brother-in-law calls the Sun Chips, Saskatchewan chips. Ghost starring in How I Met Your Pepper. It is in fact a story about the Cosmic Junkyard. It's a place that the universe created in order to store all of the really dangerous things that would fuck everything up. And it was never supposed to have people, but people fell down in there, and our characters fell down in there, and now they're trying to find a way to get out. That's the sequel to How I Met Your Mother we truly deserve. I would love for you guys to write a we should do a like community fanfic called How I Met Your Pepper, and everybody writes a chapter. Everybody writes a chapter for How I Met Your Pepper, starring Ghost. I wonder if we can do that. So yeah, when we started book 2 a couple of weeks ago, you might remember that I said I'm gonna throw out the plan. I didn't totally ignore my plan. I changed the order of a lot of things at the opening of the book. And there was a lot of times throughout this book where I had tried to call back to events in the first book, but the events in the first book didn't go the way I anticipated. So there was nothing to call back to. So I had to do a lot of by the seat of my pants fixing this book in real time as I was writing it. And I'm pretty happy with how it came together. It definitely needs edits, but it's pretty solid narratively. But now we come to the point where the other shoe drops, because I have to have an outline to reference when I do edits. And right now this outline is a giant dumpster fire. It is burning. It is not. There are so many places where it's just like, there's an extra scene here because I added extra scenes. I like amalgamated 2 scenes in the past and then added an extra scene, and there's no description for it. So today is going to be an interesting day, because today is the day when present Megan deals with all of the choices that past Megan made. And today's words will not count towards the November writing challenge because I'm not drafting today. I am very much just outlining, and I don't count my outlining towards my goal. For anyone wondering, I am sitting at 48K, just a little over 48K. So I'm just shy the original default November goal. So I will be hitting that tomorrow, which will put me a third of the way in the direction of what we want, where we want to go. So theoretically possible for me to hit that 150. Yeah, Joe, it's the November writing challenge is new words drafted in a single project. So tomorrow we're going to work on My Little Dahmerin, and that's not going to count towards the goal either because it's not the right project. So there are very couple extra things that I do. You can be angry hot dog all you want. I've explained this before. My total word count for the month probably will be close to 200K, but that won't count. Right on a 5-stream streak. Heck yeah. You could publish it in a book with the drag queens and the ponies and How I Met Your Pepper. Maybe. If the community is willing to submit chapters for How I Met Your Pepper, I will make it happen. I have to write between 7,500 and 19,523 words today. That's a lot. That's a lot of words, Mai. Is this brand new words or is this like transposed words? We can do it. We're brave and strong. I believe. There's a clip of my chapter already talking about meeting him on the beaches of Oklahoma. There is a clip. There's a poem and everything. Faded Stardust, thank you so much for using your Prime sub here. That's very generous of you. Today's an errands day, so I'm likely not going to be sticking around too long, but I wanted to drop in. Good luck on working on that outline. Thank you, and I hope that your project is going well. Stardust, I saw that you are getting close to hitting your hour goal in the spreadsheet. I keep an eye on the spreadsheets and see how everybody is doing, so I hope that's going well. I was counting your messages in my chat too. They don't count. They don't count towards the November writing challenge, Joe. You knew this. You knew the rules. There's no wiggling out of this. As a side note, I've discovered pocket nips. They're exclusive to my particular squirrel, but I like them. Ooh, what are pocket nips? I'm absolutely winning this word count challenge. Can we have some rules and some kind of schedule? I guess, let me talk to Ghost about it. Let me talk to Ghost about it later and see if he wants to add any stipulations. Past my didn't explain how we're supposed to come to the conclusion that Garrick is Summer's half-brother, so I'm angry at her. I mean, theoretically, they would have a parent in common. Pocket nips are when I put my hand in his shirt pocket and give a little feel. There's gonna be a community pick where the ships. Hopefully people will ship my husband with me. We're throwing around the idea of a How I Met My Pepper. So it would be fanfic about how Ghost Pepper met his pepper, I guess? I don't really know. All I know is the name How I Met My Pepper was suggested. Summer doesn't know her mother. She left when she and Winter were 2 years old. Oh, that's sad. There's gonna be a love octagon. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this. All right, let me get set up. If you guys would like to redeem an activity, a spirit companion, or a location, what is happening? How did that even... That was such a delayed... That was such a delayed reaction. A hype train just started? Okay, there's a hype train. Show has chosen a spirit companion. There are several food spirit companions. Which one do you want, Joe? Which one of the foods do you want? Do you want pancakes? Do you want a cinnamon roll? Do you want rice roll? Do you want some little fried treats? Do you want some sushi? Do you want some noodles? Do you want some toast? Pancakes, okay. That's true. Joe would not want the cinnamon roll. Jess, thank you so much for the bits. Corgi butts are the best butts. Heck yeah. If you have no bread, you lack toast. I do have some sushi waiting for me in the fridge for lunchtime. So yeah, if you would like to redeem an activity or a location. Also Faded Stardust on a 10-stream streak. Hell yeah. So go ahead and redeem those now if you would like. Otherwise, we'll just go hang out somewhere with some pancakes. I am going to get set up to get started. And I do have to do a quick calculation here. I apologize. The animations will be frozen for 1 second here while I'm poking around. Now, Maya, is there any particular background you want for the kitchen? Ghost Pepper! Ghost Pepper! Come here!
What?
My chat has a proposition for you.
A proposition for me. Kay.
Yeah. They would like to write a community fanfic called How I Met Your Pepper.
Fine.
Which will be about you.
Fine.
Now, do you have any ground rules that you want to set?
No.
No, you don't want to set any ground rules? You're just
no
going to let them do
rules.
whatever they want?
Whatever they want.
Whatever. Okay. Carly wants us to kiss.
No.
Hard no. There you go. It's on video. He said no rules. You can do whatever you want. I'm doing some math here. Hang on. Oops. Perfect. I've done some mathemagics. And I just need to open the manuscript so I can comb through that. Alright, I'm gonna take the usual quick cheeky break here before we get proper started. And then we are gonna go ahead and start the timer. Peter clipped it. There we go. There is a record. Thank you guys, by the way, for kicking off that hype train. You guys are the best. Appreciate you. Pancakes should be eaten in the kitchen. Yeah, but do you, for the background that you see through the windows, do you have any preference? That was a quick agreement. Ghost Pepper does do a lot of things to please chat. He did drink vinegar for charity. He does generally like to make chat happy. Write whatever the hell you like about me. Also, I won't kiss my wife. But you guys can write about him kissing his wife. He would have made me go off camera to do it for sure. To get a kiss. I've been in a very me stage of Spirit City, no character inspired backdrop, so I feel like you should enjoy your stuff as well. Sure, but do you have a preference for the background? My favorite is the one that is up right now. The Mad Lad! Thank you so much for the resub. And welcome in. How's it going? He won't kiss you for me. I'm gonna go take a break and I'll kiss him in the kitchen. Heck yeah, Sailing Ocelot. Everyone who wants to can write a chapter. Give me like a day to think about it and we'll set something up. We'll set up a time frame. How long do you guys want to have to write these fics? We'll make an anthology. I like that it said resub as if I didn't prepay for 6 months. That is, it will say the same thing every month, essentially. I 404'd for a second. I can give you guys way more than 2 weeks. How about a month or so that we can have it out for Christmas? If you guys want this to be released somewhere, there's no way I can do it by Christmas. So there's no rush. This would have to be a very slow, very side project. So we may as well say sometime in January? But you guys can make them Christmas themed if you want. We need to make a spreadsheet for who's writing which chapter. Yeah, do you guys want it to be a short story anthology where everyone writes their own independent story? Or do you guys want to try to make a coherent story? I have a liter of banana milkshake. Another thing I can't drink. Welcome in! Alright, we are gonna take a quick break. I guess you guys decide what you want to do for the How I Met Your Pepper. The community is deciding to write a How I Met Your Pepper fanfic about Ghost Pepper. Not right now. I'm not going to do a poll right now because we're going to get started working. But if you guys give me some poll options, we can have one during the next break. I'm going to be right back. All right. All right, I will give you guys one poll. I will also let you guys know that if I'm gonna put this out somewhere, it will be for free on my blog, so you'll have to give me permission to post your chapter/story on my blog. And then I will put together a PDF that people can download. Not gonna turn on additional voting for this. So it's gonna be, you each get one vote. Vilwraith, hello, how's it going? Alright, you guys decide that. I am going to get this party started. We're gonna go hang out in the kitchen with some pancakes. Oops. Let's have blueberry pancakes. Joe seems like a blueberry pancakes kind of guy. Alright, let's do this thing. Oh yes, we still owe Pi 2 hydrates. A 1. A 2. I like pancakes with Greek yogurt in them, which is a problem for obvious reasons. just realized that I've already changed the spelling of one of the place names midway through this book, and I don't like either spelling, so I'm gonna have to change both. Gonna rest a bit with some food and Stardew Valley, but managed to get a bit of writing done. Heck yeah, Ocelot, it was good to see you. Thank you for your interest in the How I Met My Pepper. We'll see you again soon. I did miss your activity. I did miss it. The Sardinisms. I will find it and we will do it for the next sprint. I'm so sorry. There was so many things happening. Can you remind me what it was? Because I'm not... there it is. Nope. Ah, I see what happened. I see what happened. Yes, we will eat the next sprint. I'm so sorry. That was on me. There were so many things happening, I 100% missed it. We shall consume during the next sprint. My phone has decided that the word R no longer exists, A-R-E, and it always corrects it to 8. And I don't know why. Yeah, we can eat and we can hang out with this food companion or another food companion. What happened was I only saw Joe's. I didn't see yours. I must have just thought it was the same one. My apologies. But no matter, we will fix it for the next sprint. It can be fixed. Oops. There are so many things that I just did not use for this. I know the break timer has rolled over, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish this this before I catch up on chat. I'm just in the middle of something. Perfect. Power outage! Oh no, Rai. I hope it was a short one. Alright, so it looks like everybody voted to do individual short stories. So How I Met My Pepper will be a short story anthology. We will figure out how to get that set up. Don't know enough of the background to write a proper fanfic, but I think the anthology would be fun. Honestly, I think the idea is to make up the lore, so I don't think you need to necessarily know. You'd think after being here 2 years, I'd know the lore. In fairness, Pepper tends to stream when I'm not at home, or asleep, but regardless. He does tend to be working when you're around, Mad Lad. Trying to set up a Linux install as a daily driver as much as possible. Nice! The iPhone autocorrect is a really silly. Honestly, I think all autocorrect is silly. I wish I could turn it off totally, but I don't really know how to do that on my phone. I'm kind of a technology dummy when it comes to mobile stuff. I forgot I came up with this homebrew potion. The potion of rejuvenation was created by an isolated group of sages that dwell in the higher regions of the mountains, and it is said that dew gathered at dawn in the morning is one of the key ingredients in the potion. The potion itself is bright green, effervescent liquid that tastes vaguely of citrus and ambition. Ooh, I like that. And is best served cold and taken in moderation. The potion comes in other colors, including red, blue, orange, and aqua. Is it more effective if it's cold? Is it less effective if it's warm? It reduces exhaustion levels by 1, but if you don't take a long rest within 2 hours, you get 3 levels of exhaustion. Ouch! If you do sleep, but not within the window, you have to make a con save to dispel the grogginess. Dang. Sounds like my life. Got a lot done during the sprint, and it feels good to be getting back in the swing of things. Nice! You voted to watch people write the fanfic, Carly? said I wasn't really going to stick around and sprint with y'all today, and here I am still. I was going to say, what are these chores that you need to do today, Stardust? Yet here I am, just finished the first sprint and not leaving. Don't know that you can turn off autocorrect. You should be able to. I don't want it. I don't like it. It's not for me. So this is what I'm thinking, you guys. If we want to do an anthology of How I Met My Pepper, I can basically get all the submissions and I can publish them to my blog. So they're gonna have to be... we're gonna have to put a maybe PG-13 rating on there. Like, if you guys want it to be spicy, like kissing and innuendo and stuff, that'd be fine. Anything more than that would have to be redacted for the blog. Fade to black. I don't know why I'm thinking y'all are gonna be writing erotica about my husband. Maybe don't do that, but, no. I'm saying for sexual content. You can swear as much as you want. Also, I doubt that PG-13 only has one F-bomb in it today. Let's be honest with each other. Yeah, basically don't have it be, like, fully rated X, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, those parts will be posted on Pepperhub. That's true. We could get Bard to post it on Pepperhub as well once it's ready. Oh no! Bard was so happy with Pepperhub. So yeah, basically it would go out on my blog. So probably either after My Little Domarin or when we take a break from My Little Domarin. And then like maybe a mid-season break to do How I Met My Pepper. So you guys would basically need to consent to me posting it on my blog and offering it as a PDF download for free. This will be a free thing through my website. So no money involved. Just a fun little thing for the community to do. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure how long should we give. Everyone was like 2 months. Maybe like submissions by the end of January, because it's already like mid-November. Should we do like submissions by the end of February? Is that too much time? Are you guys gonna be like, do you guys like want a super short deadline? What do you guys want? Finally have an external conflict for one of the worlds in my work in progress. Hell yeah! Alright, I'm gonna do, first of all, I've apparently leveled up, so let's do that. Alright, and we're gonna eat some food. Do we... Oh, I thought we could choose what we eat, but we can't. Do we want to keep hanging out with the pancakes, or does somebody want to pick a different food-related companion? We're eating soup, you guys. Soup and pizza and bento. Excellent. Alright. I'm gonna post another poll. When deadline? End of January. End of Feb. End of March. Alright. I'm not gonna turn on star drops for this poll either. I'm not gonna say end of December because that feels like it would be cruel. Having a deadline for the end of December is just no bueno for anybody because holidays. Struggling to come up with original words lately, hence I'm writing Shade Tree Rest. I mean, honestly, if you're struggling with getting new words out, I would say do some practice stuff. Do some, like, little shorts. And you can always use them as bonus content later or post them on a blog or whatever. And that will get you back into the habit of writing new words. Quite excited for this weekend as I'm pretty sure my players are going to reach the end of the amnesia campaign, meaning everything is all coming together and they're going to find out everything they've forgotten. Problem is, 2 of them are knocked out and 1 is super low. Well, hopefully it won't be a TPK, Mad Lad. The characters physically cannot die for plot reasons, but that's not fun. Ooh, I'll be right back. I gotta go. Sorry about that, guys. We had a pending return for Amazon. And the nice thing is that you can have them come to your house and pick it up. And I thought they were going to come yesterday, and they didn't come yesterday. They came today. Alright, so do you guys want a poll to break the tie, or do we split the difference and say the submission date is like Valentine's Day or something? There, alright. Alright, end of January it is. Ugh. Open. So I bought myself this cute little thing. I've been using like a regular like household tape measure, but I finally got myself a like proper flat sewing kit tape measure, and it gets sucked back into the little thing. So I'm super excited about that. So now I can measure things properly for my cross stitches. Now I saw that there were some hydrates pop up. Thought I saw hydrates. Yes. A hydrate from Pi. A Pi-drate. Ink and Play, hello, welcome in. Honestly, I don't want you guys to get super excited about a release, because it's gonna be a long-term thing. I don't have a ton of time for putting extra stuff together, so we can have them submitted by the end of January. I'm not going to be able to have it put together for 2 weeks later. I'm telling you right now, there's no possible way that would happen. So temper your expectations about when this will become available to people. Hit that save button, friends, if you're working in a program that doesn't autosave like I am, because I'm working in OneNote. Long story short, they are gods who set up this Hunger Games style world for their entertainment. One day they got bored and decided to play the game themselves. But this meant that they had to extract the souls' bodies. This is a bit of a gray area with the explanation, and leave them in a lab in the god area. Interesting. They get sent to the lab where they saw the dead bodies in tubes because they took over the bodies, so they're seeing clones, and immediately got sent back to the world where they just are magically alive. The players know nothing other than when they die, they wake up in the lab. Interesting. Shade Rest has 84,233 words for me to springboard off of. So I'm using that to help generate some original words because it'll take about 25 to 30k to finish it properly. Nice. Yeah, you guys can do any holiday-centric fic you want. Honestly, there's no telling when it will actually hit my blog. So if you guys want to write Christmas fic, if you want to write Valentine's Day fic, and I'm gonna say too, like, if you guys want to make more, if you want to, we'll probably have to put a cap on it, but if you guys want to submit 2 stories, if you guys want to commit to that, I'm not gonna say no. Need to finish the sad part of this book so I can jump right in when the new book gets here later today. Good luck! You could do a rolling release where you put out 1 or 2 at a time. Yeah, probably what'll happen is I will schedule them to go out on my blog, so they will go out every other week in the time slot where the My Little Damarin is currently publishing, but we need to get to a stopping point with My Little Damarin before there'll be space for them, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what you guys are signing up for, is guest spots on my blog. But the download for the full book I can probably get out much sooner, it just depends. I'm not gonna edit these. Whatever you guys send me is what's gonna get published. I might just break them down into short chapters for the blog. It's funny but a little humiliating for the characters. We're just gonna go into my fun stories, tell about D&D, right up with my bow turning into a herring. Wait, I must have missed something. My DM made Strahd get bored fighting us and leave with his girlfriend to avoid a TPK when we played a couple weeks ago. Oh no! Yeah, if you guys want to get together and beta each other's fics and whatnot, that is going to be totally up to you guys. There's something caked on this, and I can't say I'm thrilled about that. Hang on. Fixed it. The other group made it 5 hours into a 3 to 4 hour one shot and decided to split it in two. Took over an hour for everyone to get out of the starting area. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. Everyone survived the boss fight, even though I threw some of them half a mile down off the platform. Hot damn, Rai. Have a root beer and it makes me happy. Which kind of root beer? Alright, this is gonna roll over. I think we're set up. I don't see any other redeems, so we will keep hanging out with the pancakes. Carly, take your meds. Med check, everybody. I forgot to remind people because I had to run AFK. Remember to grab something to eat and or drink. Get up, move around, take your meds if you need to take your meds. Check that you've taken those lovely meds if you need to take those lovely meds. And here we go. We're back in sprint. How did my headphones get turned so far down? All right. I do like A&W. In fairness, most people don't try to raise the dead. Oh yeah, this is the scene where someone from our world gets to explain the psychology of grief to people who have no concept of psychology. It's being a butthole. I hate it when OneNote doesn't align things the way I want it to. Joik. I have no idea what is happening today. I'm in a very weird headspace. I just started a paragraph with the Thai equivalent to the word suddenly, and immediately had to add the following. Yes, I know this is a terrible way to start a paragraph, but I did it anyway. Fuck you, this is the first draft. You don't have to justify it to yourself on paper. It's fine. It's fine to write horrible stuff in the first draft. You're absolutely correct. Sometimes I write something and then I literally say out loud to myself, that's gonna have to get changed. But whatever. Going back through this outline, I realized that I had like all of the high concept stuff, but I didn't have a lot of details. So now I'm basically going through and putting in the details and then noting where it needs yet more details still. There are a lot of different forms of jade, that is true. And it's not always the same shade, which really threw me when I found out that jade actually can have many different colors. Cheers, Pie. Once again, I know I'm working into the break, but I'm just finishing up a few thoughts here. Oh, maybe I shall pause and finish it up after. Considering how many changes I've had to make to this outline, it's going pretty well. This outline was real bad, guys. I usually annotate it with AN text and then change the color text to a gray of some form. I usually just say it out loud and don't put it in the manuscript. Only reason I'm not doing that in this work in progress with any of the gameplay scenes is because I'm posting it as a serial. I had comments copiously when drafting, change this later type things. See, I put all those notes in my outline. I'm making a bunch of red notes right now saying this needs changed, or this needs expanded, or this conversation ends way too abruptly. UPS either gets stuff to me before noon or after I get off work. There is no in-between. Dragonfly comes all over the place, honestly. Jade is used to describe every beautiful thing, and it's all different shades of jade. Mutton fat jade, white jade, blood jade. Interesting. It's not smooth as silk or smooth as butter. It's smooth as jade. Sometimes it's smooth as porcelain, just to shake things up. Sometimes you break into the break. Other times the breaks works into you. Yeah, I just like to finish whatever thought I'm not as hardcore about the breaks and the sprinting during outlining as I am with other stuff. But you know, sometimes you involuntarily take a break because life beats the shit out of you and you break down. This is true. I hope that hasn't happened to you today, Carly, but if it has, I understand. I think we're gonna take our last break here. I'm gonna pause the timer. And, go reheat my coffee, get ready, get settled in. This is gonna be our last sprint. And after this, we're going to go raid Ghost Pepper because he is doing a model stream this afternoon. So he's going to be building more of his F-16 that Carly bought for him. And if he finishes that today, he's going to start on my second book nook that he bought for me, which is a little train car. It's a little magical train car, and the scenery actually scrolls in the window, which I'm super excited to find out how that works. So yeah, we're gonna be doing one last 30 minutes of productivity over here, and then we're gonna head over there pretty promptly so that I can go eat some food. If you would like to redeem anything for the final sprint, a companion, a activity, I promise I'll notice this time and we can set that up when I get back. I've been day jobbing this whole time, and I really need to finish my book, Boo Hiss. I wish the day job would leave you alone. Kids are asleep. Although I understand that you need to probably do it for survival reasons. I'm anticipating, but it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully we can stave it off, Carly. We'll punch it in the face. Keep it away. I am going to pause the timer. I will be right back for our final round of productivity. No writing, only snuggles. Only snuggles. Damarin's very demanding. He wants us to be writing constantly. Most specifically, me. He wants me to be writing all the time. Constantly writing. That's why he's so grumpy. He has so many stories to tell, and I don't tell them quickly enough. Yeah, I mean, it is my job, but I can only type so many words in a day. I can only... First of all, I need breaks. And second of all, I can only type so many words in a day. Damarin has, like, a decade of stories for me to tell. More than that. Somewhere I have it written out how many years it will take me to write all the stories Damarin wants me to tell. And I have to take breaks from him to work on stories for other people. But Damarin is one of those characters who's like, hey, did I tell you this other story already? And I have to be like, shh. Shh. Hush. Hush, little Damarin. Don't say another word. I have 3 more Boy Loves queued up after this one. Heck yeah! Alright, I think I had some hydrates lurking around here, and I don't know which ones I've done. So we're gonna do 3. 2 for Pie and 1 for Blur, and if they're repeats, they're repeats. He is the overexcited child in my head, but also very reserved, so it's kind of very amusing how he's just like, imagine if Spock was trying to tell you to write more. It's like that. It's like that. 2. 3. It's Peter! You may not recognize me because I made soup. What kind of soup, Peter, and why is it disappointing? 2 of them are spite rights, which is the term I just made up for stories inspired by me being disappointed in someone else's story. Fair, and I have done that. I think I've talked about this on my blog. But there is a subplot in The Celestial Serenade, which is my response to Star Wars. So I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil it. But essentially, in the original Star Wars movies and in the prequels kind of as well, there's this underlying thread of this idea that the Jedi have to have no ties, and that having ties to other people makes you weak, and that being connected to people via strong emotions is a weakness that can be exploited by others. I very much feel the opposite. I think that connections with people is what makes us strong. Now we find strength and the ability to succeed at things via our strength of connections with other people. So there is a character in the Celestial Serenade that has certain abilities, and there is a subplot connected to those abilities very specifically because I was like, no, this is how it should work. This is how connections with other people would strengthen this kind of ability, not weaken it. And it very much exists because I rejected that idea from the Star Trek universe. I used to have a Muse character like that. I've kind of lost touch with him. Damarin just doesn't shut up, but I appreciate him. But I literally was vacuuming my house one day and he slipped into my head and was like, here's a cliffhanger for a story, and then vanished again. And I was like, well, that just happened. I have since subsequently written said cliffhanger. I made chicken noodle soup. It's delicious, but the noodles are letting everyone down. Oh no! What type of noodles? I use egg noodles. I don't know if this will help, but I use egg noodles in my chicken noodle soup because they're lighter. And you can get either smaller ones or really big ones. And I try to get, like, the bigger ones. It's really good. One of them is literally labeled in my notes, inverse title of what I'm writing. Interesting. I was writing a Star Wars fanfic where they rewrote the Jedi Code a bit because those emotions can make you stronger. Exactly. The whole them telling Luke, oh, you have to be not connected to anybody. Bullspit. And I get that kind of, spoilers for a how many decade old movie, I get that kind of, the point is that he goes against that and he does eventually succeed. But I do think it's a running thread in the Star Wars universe that they're like, people have to sever their connections with people in order to have their abilities work properly, and I just don't think that's how it should be. The Dandelion! Dandelion. Let's do the default one. He's a fluffy boy. I'm using some manner of not ramen, but similar, but egg noodles are an excellent idea. Yeah, I find that any other noodle either gets lost or is too heavy. Large egg noodles and chicken noodle soup. Yeah, I often can't get as large as I want, but egg noodles in general work really well. Sleeping on the train. Taking a little nappy. Sardonisms did sneak it in there first, so we'll do the underwater city. That's okay. Technically, it's a city at night, so... I have to remember how this works. Okay. It's because we didn't have, like, I have it set to have 3 redeems, but we didn't have 3 redeems, so there were 2 left. Blur, we will try to do the city, the regular city at night tomorrow. I will try to carry that over. But this is technically a night city, so... it occurred to me that the whole fear leads to anger thing screams, I don't believe in therapy. I do think that in the new Star Wars, they tried to do a thing where they were like, the dark side isn't all bad, which on the one hand kind of breaks the lore because literally using the dark side of the Force destroys your body. Like you power the bad things by like destroying your body. But also, I do kind of like the idea of there being a gray spot in the middle where it's not necessarily good or bad, but how you use it. But the new movies were such a disaster that they never went anywhere with it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it was a little too simplistic, but it was a product of its time, right? Hang on, let me pause this for 1 minute while I set up my final sprint alert. No worries. No, the redeems came through almost at exactly the same time, and it's totally cool. That's true. I could refund your points if you want, Blur, or we can just blur block off the city for tomorrow, I can try to do one of the redeems in the morning so that it kind of blocks it off. And we'll do that tomorrow. Often they don't get redeemed and there's extras anyway, so it's no big deal. I'm excited about the upcoming update. Finally, we'll be able to change the UI colors. I'm hoping they let us change the font. Because they changed the font some time ago, and I have not exactly been happy with it. Or at least the font size. It would be nice if I could change the font size. Alright, let's let things go. We're gonna get one last round of productivity in here. I'm excited because they added dresses. And I suggested that they add suits because it would be cool if you could have both types of formal wear. And they're adding a play with your spirit activity. Yeah, I know they changed the font because they wanted to make it more friendly for people with dyslexia, which is great, but they really should be letting you use your, like, there should be a choice of fonts. That should have been, like, one of the base features of the game. Good, I'm glad you'll be here tomorrow, Blur. I've always been inclined to there should be Grey Jedi. I like the first two movies of the sequel trilogy, but the last one made me upset enough to walk away. Listen, the second new Star Wars movie was such a dumpster fire, in my opinion, that I was just like, eh. Something happened during the development of those movies, and I'm shocked, frankly, that Disney let the second movie go out the way it did. There was definitely a dispute between directors. I don't know the details, but I would bet money on the director of the second movie went nuclear because they wanted to make life difficult for J.J. Abrams. I just feel like you don't completely destroy all of the setup of the first movie and the second movie of a trilogy unless you've got a vendetta. And that is 100% what happened with that movie. I did not like The Last Jedi. I am not gonna yuck anyone else's yum, but I did not like that movie. Sardinisms has their new book, heck yeah! There were several lore-breaking flaws I felt with the whole second movie. I mean, I won't necessarily go into them right now because I could spend like 3 hours talking about it. But really, ultimately, at the end of the day, the first movie set some stuff up, and the second movie was like, we're not going to do that story, and then it just did a bunch of other stuff, and it was like, okay, this isn't how you write a trilogy, but okay. Like I said, I think somebody greenlit that script, and I'm very curious to know how that happens. But, you know, if people have found things that they like about that movie and they want to enjoy it, that's cool. Like, everyone has their own headcanon, like Mai said, and everybody has their stuff that they include and their stuff that they disclude. And that's cool. There's been a lot of things that that Star Wars has done that I haven't necessarily liked, and there's been some stuff that they've done that I have liked. And I just pay attention to the stuff I like, and I don't pay attention to the stuff I don't like. And if somebody likes something I don't like, I don't throw a fit and say, you're a terrible person because you like something. I say, that's cool that you like that. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you like that. It might not be for me, but that doesn't mean I'm not the authority on everybody's enjoyment. Other people get to like stuff that I don't. That's kind of how media works. I would agree with that, Mai. I thought the Rey and Kylo Ren plot was really good, but the rest of it was kind of a dumpster fire. But the third one just had to fix all of the weird stuff that was introduced in the second movie, so it wasn't really much of a story. Liking some things are a sign of being a terrible person, but those things themselves are genuinely... Yeah! Fair point. Kids are asleep. I more meant I don't think you're a terrible person for liking a type of story that I don't necessarily like. I hated the Rey and Kylo Ren plot. Fair. I didn't think the third movie fixed anything either. I just felt like the third movie... When you have to reveal a major plot twist in the opening scroll, something went wrong. The third movie didn't have time to really tell a story because it was just patching holes in a sinking ship. That was how I felt about it. All opinions my own, clearly. It's true what you said, regardless of the reasons or how anyone felt about the second movie, the approach to the patching made things worse. For sure. Like, at the end of the day, whatever happened in the movies, I think there was something going on in the background that affected their development, and that wasn't fair to the fans. Because the fans didn't get what they should have gotten, and what they should have gotten was directors in agreement about the direction that the trilogy was going to take before it ever got greenlit for development. Like, who knows what it was originally supposed to be, but I thought that Rey should not have been related to any of the characters from. I thought she should have just been like her own person from her own family. She should have just been unrelated to all the other stuff, and that I knew that that wasn't how they were gonna go. Like, I even told Ghost Pepper, like, they're gonna tie her in to one of the big families because that's just, they think that that makes a better story. But the way that it just was accomplished was so, it was so, like, last minute. It just felt so last minute. boy, things happened in a very, very different order in this book than I originally intended. to find a detail that I don't remember where I put it. Actually, here we go. Found it. I had forgotten the order in which things happened. Quite halfway. I'm a few scenes shy, but that is fine. Considering how many changes I have had to make and how many details I have had to add to this outline, I am not really surprised, but I'm happy with the progress. There have been so many things in the chat. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch up on all of it, so let me just skim it quick. The only villain redemption arc I stand is Zuko. Kylo Ren can get in the trash. I love that. Honestly, there already was a massive reset because the way George Lucas managed canon was he didn't. So when Disney took over, they basically had to wipe the canon outside of the movies and start over because there was no other way to do it. Andor is really good, but it's very slow. You have to watch 3 episodes to get anything out of it. If you stop after 2, you're gonna be like, "What's happening?" It basically runs in three episode arcs. Also, I think Andor gives a lot of backbone to Rogue One that it really needed. If you watch Andor and then rewatch Rogue One, that character plays a lot differently. He comes off a lot differently if you've seen the show. I hit about 1,000 words typed for stream, so that's progress. Halfway to the sensible goal I have, 2,000 words. Excellent, Mai. Good work. There's no war in bossing, say. It was a lovely stream. Glad I could pop in again. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night. Blur, I'm so glad we got to see you. I'm sorry I had to rush read most of that and not out loud. That was a very in-depth conversation, and catching up on it at this point would be impossible because I gotta go eat some food. It is very much lunchtime for me. But we are going to do a very special raid today, as we are going to go over and say hi to Ghost Pepper, who is currently working on his F-16 model. He usually does this in the evening, but this evening he's going to be doing a Guild Wars story stream with Sandream, so he, because he has the day off, is doing his model stream during the day. Heck yeah. So we're gonna go over there and say hey to him. We're going to go see the star of How I Met Your Pepper. Although my stream is not streaming. There we go. For some reason, my Twitch has been very strange lately, and it does not want to cooperate. The other goals are not sensible, but one might be doable. But first, lunch. Always gotta eat. Also, kids are asleep. Get some water, light a candle, mentally regroup. Very important. Get that energies back. So yeah, this has been a wild ride today. Tomorrow we're going to be a little bit more structured because I'm going to be back to writing. We're going to be reviving My Little Domarin and writing a scene in that. It will not count towards my overall November goal words because it is not part of the November goal project. But we do need to get a couple more scenes of that written before the end of the year, just so that I can keep up with things on my blog. So look forward to that. We're delving into some of the more fun and funny stuff after a couple of really serious chapters of that, so I'm looking forward to it. And if you would like to catch up on what has already been written of the My Little Domarin, you can find that over on my blog at megancutler.net. So if you'd like to see Domarin as a pony doing pony things, hashtag just pony things, you can head over there and read the first couple episodes worth of content for that. And I will be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. PST, same as usual. And then on Thursday, we will be back to writing Ghost Path, so 10:30 a.m. PST for that stream as well. And those words will count towards the November Writing Challenge. We'll be working on Book 3 of Ghost Path, and hopefully I'm going to get most of it done in November. We'll see how that actually goes. It depends on how much time I can fit in writing and whatnot. It should be books to go to my Amazon page, and if you'd like to go to my website, newsletter will take you there. That will specifically take you to the newsletter part, but you can just go to the megancutler.net from there. There is not a blog command, I don't believe. I did slim down my number of commands because I felt I had too many of them. No worries, Peter. Guys, take care of yourself. You gotta. Because you're important and you're special and I love you and I want you to take care of yourself. Remember to eat, to sleep, to drink, to get up, to move around, to take your meds, to do all the things, because these meat sacks we do be driving around require a lot of maintenance, even though they don't come with maintenance manuals. So please maintain. Remember, if you're not feeling great, do the checklist. Did I eat something? Did I drink something? Do I need a nap? Have I done all the medical stuff I need to do today? Do I just need a smile and a hug? Check it out. Those things, all very important. We're gonna go say hello to Ghost Pepper, my lovely husband, and hang out with him. I'm gonna go live by example and get myself some food and drink. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. What a day it's been. You guys are always amazing, and I appreciate the heck out of you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Or, if not, very soon.
in.